Hey there, it's Dave Hompes from hpylorisymptoms.com, and a very quick video just to talk about how H. pylori infections can create one of the most common symptoms that my clients talk about, which is bloating or abdominal bloating, bloated stomach, however you want to call it. In case you didn't know, H. pylori bacteria are shaped like a little corkscrew. So what that allows them to do is literally kind of bury themselves in the stomach lining, in the intestinal lining, like a drill almost. They're able to drill into it. And what that does is it creates a response from your immune system. And your immune system creates inflammation at the site of the injury where the H. pylori bacteria are kind of screwing in to your stomach lining. That inflammation can give the sensation of bloating as well as pain. So that's the first way that the H. pylori can cause a feeling of bloating. Another way the H. pylori can cause bloating is quite simply that in some people, depending on where the H. pylori is living in the stomach, whether it's near the top of the stomach, in the middle or near the bottom, it can actually reduce the amount of stomach acid that is produced. Now that has real significant knock-on effects further down the digestive system, because if all of a sudden you're not producing enough stomach acid, when you eat your food, it's going to sit in your stomach in an undigested state. It'll putrefy, it'll start to give off lots of gases, and that in itself again can create a feeling of bloatedness as well as pain, and as well as sort of acid reflux and heartburn type symptoms as well. Next, going down the digestive system a little bit like a domino effect. If you don't have adequate levels of stomach acid, you don't get the correct hormonal signals being sent to your pancreas and to your gallbladder. And what that means is they won't produce enzymes and bile respectively and squirt them into your intestine to continue the digestive process once the food has been released from your stomach. The further down your digestive system you go, the more bacteria there are. The bacteria are extremely good at fermenting undigested food. They act on it, there are lots of chemical reactions going on down there, and guess what? That creates a lot of bloating because you get gas produced from fermentation. So you've got a whole bunch of stuff bubbling away in there, and it makes you look, 6-8 months pregnant if you're not careful. The H. pylori, its low stomach acid and the consequent lower levels of things like pancreatic enzymes and bile reduce your body's built-in mechanism for preventing the growth and the spread of unwanted organisms. So H. pylori aside, in someone who has low stomach acid and poor digestive function in general, they're going to be far more open to allowing things like yeast and fungal overgrowth with organisms like Candida. If the stomach doesn't have enough acid in it, parasites find it a lot easier to get into the digestive system as well. They get through the stomach because there isn't enough acid there. The acid would normally burn them. They get down into the digestive system, and you get things like Blastocystis hominis, Giardia, Cryptosporidium. You get opportunistic bacteria growing like Salmonella and Vibrio. Sometimes you even get things like E. coli, Clostridium difficile. And like I say, you get the fungi overgrowing as well. That whole melting pot, when you've got a whole bunch of bad bugs in there that shouldn't be there, again has the potential to cause bloating as well as pretty much any other digestive symptom. Now, are bad bugs the only cause of bloating? No, they're not, because some of the common foods that you eat on a daily basis can also lead to bloating. Many of the common foods that people are consuming these days have the same inflammatory effects on the stomach and intestine as the bad bugs do. These are things like gluten, which is found in pasta and bread and baked goods and cereals, anything made with wheat, rye and barley basically. Cow's milk can cause problems in a lot of people. Soy-based foods can cause problems. Vegetable oils can cause problems. Sugar can cause problems, and so on and so forth. So basically, if you want to reduce bloating, not necessarily with even having to get rid of H. pylori, the first thing to do is to change your diet. My book, The H. pylori Diet, teaches you exactly how to do that, and you'll be absolutely amazed at how many people get rid of bloating before they've even addressed the H. pylori. They think or assume that just because they've been diagnosed with H. pylori, that's the problem, and in many cases it isn't. Now that's not to say don't get rid of the H. pylori, because the H. pylori can go on and cause other problems. So you've got to get rid of it, in my opinion, when you find it. But a lot of the symptoms that you experience may not be due to the H. pylori at all. If changing your food intake doesn't work, and if changing your eating habits doesn't work by sitting down, relaxing, chewing your food thoroughly, and giving your digestive system a chance to work properly, then I highly recommend that you use either antibiotics or a herbal protocol to get rid of the H. pylori. If that doesn't work, it means something else is going on down in your digestive system. So if you're still bloated after changing your food, changing your eating habits, getting rid of H. pylori, you know that there's got to be other stuff going on. Your stomach acid might be low, your pancreatic enzymes might be low, your bile and gallbladder function might not be adequate, and you might have a ton of other bad stuff living in there. That's the point at which I recommend you run a comprehensive stool test, home-based stool test that you then send back to the lab for analysis, that looks for all these bad bugs that I've been talking about and your digestive function as well, so not just the bad bugs. So I hope this video has been very helpful. If you'd like more information in how we can help you, if you'd like to check out the book in more details or the stool testing services, please go to www.hpylorisymptoms.com and I'll see you there. My name's Dave Hompes and thanks very much for watching.